I tried to give him CPR and I was just giving him CPR. I just kept saying, Fetty, don't leave me. Don't leave me, please. I saw the green and brown stuff come out of his mouth.
Hey boo, hey, welcome back to your girl's channel. Y'all, this one is saddening. Have y'all heard about the mama who I guess was homeless and two of her babies got unalived because they froze to death? Y'all, it's sad as hell. And I got some pretty unpopular, strong opinions about it. So let's get into it.
Right here, live pictures. This is the Hollywood Casino in Greektown, and that is where Detroit police confirm 2 children have been found in a car in the parking structure. And we want to get right out to Pamela Osborne.
Pamela, what are you hearing about this from police?
Well, this is an absolute tragedy. Within the past 15 minutes, we did get an update from police. I want to step out of the way and show you officers arriving back here at the Hollywood Casino Hotel. What they're telling us is that a family with a total of 5 children appear to have been living in a van inside of that parking structure. It was around 1 o'clock this afternoon when the mother of those children noticed one of the kids, a 9-year-old boy, was not breathing. She called a friend for help. They took the child to the hospital, and while they were there, the grandmother of those children noticed another child, a 2-year-old girl, was also not breathing. The friend returned to take her to the hospital, and that is where both of the children were pronounced. The cause of the death has not been officially determined, but investigators are saying it appears that the children froze to death. The remaining children were taken to the hospital to be looked over and treated.
Around 1 a.m. Monday morning, a gray minivan pulled into the Hollywood Casino at Greektown parking structure parked on the 9th floor. Either it ran out of gas or had a mechanical issue, leaving the family of 6 without heat.
Around noon, the mother inside the van, along with 5 children, noticed that one of the children wasn't breathing. And she called family to come help, to convey to Children's Hospital.
That was the 2-year-old. Then not long after, the mom called the same family member, their godmother, to say the 9-year-old child was not breathing. Both were taken to Children's Hospital downtown, pronounced dead. Doctors believe they froze to death.
Sad, very sad, especially as a father. I just can't imagine what the family is feeling. I wish it hadn't have happened.
The 2-year-old wearing a t-shirt and pull-up. The older child in a t-shirt and jogging pants, only a couple blankets in the car. The other 3 children also checked out at the hospital are expected to be okay. They're being placed with Children's Protective Services, and now their mom is detained, being investigated for possible criminal charges.
I don't think anyone really wants to think about that at the moment with the 2 children passed, but the reality is that the circumstances do have to be examined. We have to figure out how to go forward.
This is devastating. Before I tell you what I think and what I feel, let's hear from the mom. Let's hear what the mom had to say.
Very heartbreaking, Carolyn Simon. Moments ago, I did have the opportunity to speak to Tatiana Williams, who lost her 9-year-old and her 2-year-old, also in the vehicle at the time, her 4-year-old and her 8-year-old. Also, Tatiana's mother and her 2 siblings, a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old, also stay in that vehicle. She tells me that she has been homeless for 3 months and that she is trying to do better for herself, trying to get back on her feet. She told me she's a CNA, a medical assistant, and that she was actually about to start a new job tomorrow. And so I did speak with her, and I asked her, one of the questions I did ask her was to take me back to yesterday.
Yesterday, I woke them up to wake them up from school. My son wasn't moving. And I kept saying, please get up. Please. Please, just get up. Don't do this to me. And I tried to give him CPR because I'm a senior and a medical assistant. I've been working there since I was 17. I tried to give him CPR and I was just giving him CPR. I just kept saying, Fetty, don't leave me. Don't leave me, please. I saw the green and brown stuff come out of his mouth. I instantly rushed him to the hospital. I was yelling out the window, stop, stop, stop. We gotta get through traffic. My baby, he's dying. We get to the hospital. I told valet, can you go get some help? He took too long, so I got out the car to get help. They came to the car, instantly grabbed my baby on his head, get a stretch. He's not breathing. Help. Cold blue. Everybody tried. I didn't even know my 2-year-old was dying. I was in it with my 9-year-old. And they brought her in right after they pronounced him dead. And my mama came to me, she said, Yaya. That's what we call her, but her name is Amelia. We just call her Yaya. And they said she wasn't breathing. And they pronounced her dead too. I asked everybody for help. I called out of state. I called cities I didn't know. I called cities people asked me to call. I even asked Detroit. I've been on cam list for the longest. Everybody now wants to help. After I lost 2 kids, I've been asked for help. I feel like it wasn't their time. I did everything I was supposed to do. They had everything. Everything they wanted. Only thing they didn't have was a house. But from electronics to clothes, anything they asked me for, my kids didn't even get whooped. I lost the one who made me a mother. I lost a 2-year-old. It hurt losing 2 kids in one night. You know, I don't wish this on nobody. And if you can get help, please go get help. Because I don't want nobody else to go through what I'm feeling. Just wherever you can get help from. If it's not from the city, the state, no other city or state, just go. Like, you don't have to suffer.
It's very heartbreaking. The new McFall Brothers Funeral Home is covering the children's burial plans and funeral expenses. Williams, 29, she's 29 years old. She is also receiving help from Detroit Power Detroit, that organization. That's the building that we're actually standing outside of here.
I feel like this woman probably did try to go get help. And I feel like, well, just being a black woman in particular, in general, people look past us, people see through us, we don't get as much sympathy as a lot of other people do in the world, specifically under races of women. And y'all could pull the Black Power card with me if you want to. You know, I'm here for it. All the way here for it. But that's not where I'm trying to go with this. I'm not trying to make this a whole race thing. I'm trying to be that serious. Black women are very underappreciated. We work the hardest. We're the most underpaid. We're the most loving, the least loved. It's just all around, we get treated like crap. And I don't care who doesn't agree with me. I don't care. Facts are facts. And I do believe that this woman did reach out for help. And 5 kids is hard to get help without them wanting to snatch the 5 kids from you. You understand what I'm saying? So who's going to take in 6 people? 5 kids is a lot. And y'all not going to like this, but this is what it boils down to. It boils down to having a lot of baggage, black women. We got to stop carrying so much baggage. Stop letting so many people just knock you up back to back. Back to back to back. You got 5 kids. You got to have at least 1, possibly 2, hell, maybe even 3 baby. Where are they? Why were you able to let these people knock you up 5 times and literally all of y'all have nowhere to go? This is being very irresponsible with your womb. You understand what I'm saying? You don't just give people children back to back to back and now all of you guys become homeless. You didn't choose wisely. You didn't choose wisely, and it's hard for family and friends to want to take in that many people when everybody is already struggling, trying to survive, trying to put food on the table for their own children. So no, people don't have room to take in 6 people, you and your 5 children. We just don't have it in us right now. And 3 months to be homeless is a long time. Mind you, she had almost adults to babies. Her children range from all ages. And they were all sleeping in this van. That has got to be so tough. So tough. And I'm not putting any blame on this mother because I know it's hard. But at the same token, Women, we got to wake up. We have to learn from situations like this. We have to look at this woman and say, I don't want to be her. I'm going to have better poom management type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing out here? This can only happen because we allow it to happen. And you know another thing that I want to say to Black women, specifically us? Child, you would think that I wore this wig specifically to talk about blackity black. I didn't, y'all. I didn't. I just, hell, want to try something different. And I ain't afraid to try it all for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? Pull it down a little bit, though. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, y'all, you would think that I dressed for the occasion. I didn't know that I was going to be talking about this, but here we are. Another thing that I want to say to you, Black women, y'all so busy helping everybody under the sun, from your black ass sons to your black ass brothers, your black ass uncles, everybody around you, your raggedy ass neighbors. You taking in people's kids. You just taking care of people, doing everything you can to help others, and ain't nobody there to help you when you need it. You need to stop doing that. Put you and yours first. Stop running around taking care of everybody else, putting these men before your children, putting these men before your bills and your rent and your mortgage and your children. There's multiple reasons and ways that we can do better as a whole. Now, I'm not talking to other races right now. They not my business, okay? I'm talking to women that look like me. Okay, because you men, y'all could run off. Y'all could knock a woman up 5 times and run off and do what the hell you want to do. You can do that. Unfortunately, we can't. When you love your children enough, you're there. You stay there. You figure it out. You live in a van. Y'all freeze today. No. This is not okay. Now, I don't know what led up to this situation, but I just have my thoughts. I just have my theories. And I feel like she seems like a very loving, kind, generous woman who didn't always put herself first. Chose bum after bum after bum after bum. And they all left her to fend for herself. This boils down to us putting ourselves first. Focus on you and your children. Don't be running around chasing these bums. And if you got people around you, men and other women around you dragging you down in any way, shape, or form, get rid of them mother suckers, okay? Who cares what people think about you? Let them call you all types of... You be all them bees. Be the baddest of them. Be the baddest of them, okay? Let them call you whatever. But you need to live a good life for you and your children. Stop living for other people. That's how we fall. That's how we fumble.
It's 2025. So why is there stories about families freezing in the cold still a thing? Now, shout out to Phil for sharing this story because it states that a family facing homelessness reached out at least 3 times to a Detroit homeless response team before 2 of the children froze to death in a van in a casino parking structure. Now, the story is brought to you by Juliet Carty out of the Detroit News, and they stated as recently as November of 2024 that family had been reaching out to those Detroit homeless response teams to let them know that they were homeless. Now, after the story had broke, the Detroit mayor, who goes by the name of Mike Dugan, had called for a review of the city's services for homelessness. In the Tuesday press conference, he stated that we have to make sure that we are doing everything possible to make sure that this doesn't happen again. He goes on to say, I'm not trying to talk about an individual employee. I'm talking about the system as a whole. Are we doing everything to make sure people in the city know how to access this critical care? Now, the reason why he stated that statement about an individual employee is because people were starting to dig into the story and they were thinking, was it an individual employee who was not expediting this family's call to get them out of the cold? The mayor states it's not about the individual employee. It's really about the system as a whole. Like, did that employee even have the resources to get the family to where they needed to go? Now, the mayor did go on to state that after reviewing the records, the mother of 5 reached out at least 3 times, and the last time being November 25th of 2024. The family said they had been living with relatives, but told that they needed to find another place to stay and would need somewhere else to go. And in a quote, the mayor says, in the course of that conversation, there was no resolution reached on where they would go. The mayor goes on to say that what made the story even more tragic is that there was actually a shelter available that would fit the need for that family, and the family was not given that resource. He said that the shelter was just a few miles away from the casino structure where those two children had passed away. He goes on to say that it brings home to the point that having services available doesn't mean very much if the residents who need them don't know how to access them. Because the police had started to investigate the story, they stated that the mom had been living in her van with her children for roughly around 2 to 3 months and staying at various casino parking lots. The police go on to say that she had parked at the Greektown structure around 1 a.m. on Monday and parking on the 9th floor. At some point, her car had ran out of gas and she had had mechanical failure. According to the medical examiner's office, an autopsy has not been completed yet, but authorities believe that the two children died of hypothermia. When the mother realized that one of her children, being the 9-year-old, wasn't breathing, around noon on Monday, she had called a friend who drove the children to the children's hospital, and the 2-year-old also was later found not breathing. Both were later pronounced dead. I understand this is a failure on the city's part, but it's also a failure on the friends and family's part, because why would anybody allow a mother with 5 children to sleep in her car? Now, the mayor goes on to say that after the mom's last call to that crisis line on November 25th, around December 16th, they had opened up a pop-up center because they knew that the weather was getting worse. Now, the mayor goes on to say that the mom never did call the services back because, again, she probably just felt like third time was not the charm. But the mayor also puts the onus on the city because they said, why did nobody ever reach back out to the family and ask her, like, had her situation changed? Was it resolved? Nothing proactively was done to help the mom and those kids. This is obviously a failure on the city's part, but also what happened to this mom's village? Because it seems like everybody in and around her failed her.
You and all them kids could have even just got in a 1-bedroom apartment. You and your 17-year-old could have been at McDonald's flipping it. Both of y'all, literally flipping it, making it work. He picked the kids up from school one day, you pick whatever, make it work. But for y'all to be freezing, and another thing, y'all, the kids weren't properly dressed. I don't want to beat this mother up, but pow pow woman, because what are you thinking? Why was the baby in a diaper and a t-shirt? Why weren't the kids properly dressed? First of all, I got anemia, so if me and my babies go to the grocery store, my son be like, I don't need a jacket, mom, I don't need a jacket. Shut up. Yes, you do. You do, and you taking it. Because every time I turn around, when we get in that cold-ass grocery store, he talking about some, Mom, I'm cold. Well, I'm not taking off my jacket for you, so you going to be cold, little fool. Yep, and I do tell him that. But now I just make him take it because I know you. I know what's going to happen. It's ain't about me. What the hell? This is not about me. She should have had, like, some type of thick blankets. Just something. They should have been clothed. I don't understand why the babies wasn't even fully clothed. Everybody should have been sitting in that van looking like a damn Eskimo. You say they had everything they need. Why wasn't it on them? Why weren't they fully protected? And I'm not trying to beat her up. I'm not trying to, because I just feel like I'm not finna beat this black woman up. I'm not. Like, I do feel like she tried to get help, and I do feel like black women are easily ignored. I do.
I lost the one who made me a mother. I lost a 2-year-old. I'm dead and sad. It hurt. I feel like my heart is breaking. And I have 2 more kids to live for.
It's been a long journey for Tatiana Williams with an even tougher battle ahead. She spent the last 3 months living in a van with her children.
And I regret having to sleep out there so bad. I tell them I'm sorry, but I tried. I tried to keep hotels. I tried to pay people to stay there. It wasn't working for me.
1 a.m. on Monday morning, they parked at the Hollywood Greektown Casino parking garage in below freezing temps. Overnight, the car ran out of gas, and the next day, her 9-year-old son was not breathing.
I tried to give him CPR, and I was just giving him CPR. I just kept saying, Fetty, don't leave me. Don't leave me, please.
After a friend helped take him to the hospital, her 2-year-old daughter was also found unresponsive. Both were later pronounced dead from what appears to be hypothermia.
She didn't even get to live her life. She didn't get to do nothing. She lost her life because I had to sleep in her car.
In a press conference, the mayor and city leaders confirmed that Tatiana did call the city's homeless response team back in November, but nothing ever came of it.
At least as far as we've been able to determine so far, the family never called back again for service. And as far as we've been able to tell, our homeless staff never proactively reached out to say, what happened with your situation? Was it resolved?
Mayor Duggan is now calling for a review of the city's homeless services, while Tatiana is now in a shelter and her kids are with relatives.
It took my 2 kids to die for y'all to help me. It just don't work like that. It hurt losing 2 kids in one night. You know, I don't wish this on nobody. And if you can get help, please go get help. Because I don't want nobody else to go through what I'm feeling.
Losing 2 kids in one day, I can't imagine losing 1, let alone 2. Y'all, let's keep this woman in our prayers. Child, oof. Don't you dare come trying to help me after I done lost 2 kids. Like, but take the help, boo. And I'm sorry, mama. And you're gonna be with your babies one day. But for now, you need to be strong for the ones that are still here. Okay, y'all keep pushing, take this help, and continue surviving and doing the best you can. And that's what I got on it. If y'all like this video, please, boo, like this video. If you don't like the video, it's very sad. Still, like the video. Let's push it through. Let's get this information out here, because women, we need to be more aware and be about us and ours. I'm trying to help every damn body else. And like the video and subscribe. And I hope to catch you in the next one, boo.